Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's the Alpha Exchange. I'm your co-host Sylvia.
And I'm Justin.
And we're here to take you further on the crypto journey. So in previous videos where you've seen us, we got you started in the crypto space by setting up a wallet, showing you how to move fiat, and then get you started on an exchange. Today we've got a little bit of a different one for you because it's a topic that's so important in our digital world and something we really want to address to make sure that all of our users, especially new people, are entering crypto safety. And that is the topic of security. So Justin, when you're thinking about the digital world, why do you need to protect your digital identity?
It's a great question, Sylvia. One of the things many people don't realize when they're first getting into the crypto space or the digital asset space is that you're really taking banking into your own hands. You're becoming your own international banker, which means you are customer support. You are the tech line that you're going to call when you need help. So it really means a lot for you to start the journey the right way and protect your digital identity.
So in terms of people being compromised, what are some of the common ways for someone to get compromised online?
Yeah, there's a number of ways that it occurs. The ways that are most common are phishing attempts. So that's people pretending to represent a service or product you already use. So someone calling you from your wireless carrier, your internet service provider, perhaps Google or some kind of other platform you're on. And you'll get these messages through text, email, and instant messaging. And they're trying to basically attain personal information about yourself, email addresses, passwords, logins, because they want to start getting a foothold into your digital identity so they can get greater access.
So what are some reasonable steps someone can take to protect their digital identity?
So the first thing I recommend for most people to do is to create a new email address that prioritizes privacy and data security. Because right now in our current world, data is the most valuable asset around. It's more valuable than blood, oil, water, or even printer ink. So all the big companies are out there trying to create a data bubble around you, trying to figure out who you are, what you want to buy, and tracking your every online movement. And it doesn't matter who you're talking about, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Samsung, Google, you name it, they're out there tracking you. So you really need to take your digital identity and protect it at all costs. So one service we tend to recommend for email is Proton Mail. They're based out of Switzerland, and they have Swiss privacy laws protecting their users, so they're some of the best in the world. Two other steps we typically recommend most users to do is to ditch your typical browser, switch over to Brave. Again, privacy enhanced. Also, you can earn cryptocurrency while using it. And the other thing is to get rid of your typical search engine, so don't use Bing or Google. Switch over to something a little bit more secure. DuckDuckGo, Ecosia, Presearch is my personal favorite.
So thinking about the digital world and the number of accounts that people have, you really need a password to get into anything. You want to log in for anything these days, you need to have a password. So one of the challenges that people run into is that there's too many passwords to remember. Therefore, most people tend to reuse the same password. Do you have any tips on what type of password you should set to make sure that you're staying protected?
Yeah, that brings up a really great point. Many people do reuse their password across a number of services and products, especially lots of products that people forget about. You know, there's that game you downloaded once or a snap filter, a running group that you joined 7 years ago. Well, often these services end up with data breaches or password leaks, and then that password that you used for a whole bunch of different social media accounts and email addresses is now going to be the chink in your armor that people get into your digital identity and start compromising you and try to gain access to more important resources like your cryptocurrency exchanges, your bank account, credit scores. So my recommendation is for people to ditch their password and come up with a password formula. And this helps you create phrases. So phrases are far more secure because they're lengthy. So in the current modern world right now, a 7-character password with upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols takes about 31 seconds to get hacked. So if you come up with a strong passphrase So my recommendation is you come up with a formula. So an example I use commonly is the first part of your phrase would be the service you're using, followed by the initials of the particular platform, some special word, your special number, and a special character. So let's take the example of Facebook. So my first word then would be social, and then I'd use the initials of Facebook, so FB, my special word being platypus, my special number being 42, and my special character being hashtag. So my password then to log into Facebook would be social FB platypus 42 hashtag. And then I use that same pattern for all the various websites. So if I wanted to say use Instagram, it would be social IG platypus 42 hashtag, which makes a very secure password. And now I only need to remember my formula, and it applies to all websites. You can do this for banking, crypto exchanges, you name it. And now the only way that you can be compromised is if someone was managed to see this overall pattern by having access to multiple accounts across multiple websites that you're using.
That's an excellent suggestion, Justin, for any of our users out there, because it's such a simple solution to remember multiple passwords. So aside from having a secure email as well as a password phrase, is there any other solutions that you'd recommend for people to stay protected in the digital space?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to start getting into cryptocurrency or just any kind of heavy online involvement, I strongly suggest getting two-factor or multi-factor authentication. So that means you're going to be provided a code from the service you're trying to log into. When we're talking about two-factor authentication, specifically, you should be getting an app like Google Authenticator or Authy, which generates an atomic code on your mobile device every minute that's unique. You have to pair your mobile device to the service so that that code is generated. So it adds another level of resistance for you to get your digital identity stolen. Beyond that, you can also add in an email that gets sent with a code or a text message. All these are great first steps to further protecting your identity.
So you mentioned two different apps. We can use Google Authenticator and Authy. Is there one is better than the other, or do they service different users?
You can both use them on any device. You can use both services on Apple or Android devices. How they're managed is a little bit different. From Authy, you can manage all the devices that are connected from one central login, which has pros and cons since that one resource could get compromised. That type of service isn't offered with Google Authenticator, but you can back up your services with another device, which I strongly recommend. So take one of your old mobile devices, make a copy of your Google Authenticator app, and back it up so that you have the secure access in case one of your phones gets damaged.
And lastly, we introduced our viewers to other types of crypto security, like using a hard wallet. When you think about digital security in the digital space, is there a similar type of hardware solution?
Yeah, there is. One product that we recommend our community members to get is what's called a YubiKey. So it acts like a USB key that has to be physically inserted into the computer you're using to provide another level of two-factor authentication to unlock wallets and passwords. If you're the type of person that wants to use, say, a password manager to store all your passwords in, I highly recommend you get a hardware two-factor authentication device like a YubiKey, which will at least prevent anyone from accessing your passwords without physically having access to that key.
All right, those are some great tips and tricks to make sure that all of our viewers are staying safe and entering the crypto market without being digitally compromised. So there you have it, guys. We'd like to hear how you are staying safe in the digital world. So if you've got any other suggestions or things that you're using we didn't cover in the video today, please drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget, we're streaming live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on Twitch TV/Alpha Exchange, where you're able to have a live interaction with any of the personalities on stream and share your tips about digital security.
Don't forget to check out the description below for useful links for some of the topics we talked about in this video, as well as don't forget to hit us up on our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Be sure to join the Discord and get part of the family.
Until next time.
Peace.